Viva Las Vegas.
Actors Elvis Presley and Margaret, Terry Garr, William Demarest, Jack Carter, directed by George Sidney.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Thomas Crown Affair.
Actors Faye Dunaway, Steve McQueen, Yaphet Kotto, Jack Weston.
The Lion in Winter.
The Lion in Winter.
Inherit the Wind.
Inherit the Wind.
Help.
Help. Birdman of Alcatraz.
La Dolce Vita.
La Dolce Vita.
In Cold Blood.
In Cold Blood.
How the West Was Won.
How the West Was Won.
Whatever Happened to Baby Jane.
Whatever Happened to Baby Jane.
Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
The Producers.
The Producers.
Funny Girl.
Funny Girl.
Thunderball.
Thunderball.
Guns of Navarone.
Actors Gregory Peck, David Niven, Anthony Quinn, Stanley Baker, Anthony Kiel, directed by J. Lee Thompson, Alexander McKendrick.
The Wild Bunch.
Actors William Holden, Ernest Borgnine, Robert Ryan, Ben Johnson, Warren Oates, directed by Sam Peckinpah.
Pink Panther.
Actors Peter Sellers, Claudia Cardinale, David Niven, Robert Wagner, John LeMessurier, directed by Blake Edwards.
101 Dalmatians.
Actors Rod Taylor, Paul Frees, J. Pat O'Malley, Tom Conway, Dallas McKennon, directed by Hamilton Lusk, Clyde Jeremy, Wolfgang Reitherman. Moore. 101 Dalmatians, 193 of 369. The best movies based on books, 260 of 1540. The most rewatchable movies, 8 of 575. The best animated films ever.
Bullitt.
Actors Robert Duvall, Steve McQueen, Jacqueline Bisset, Suzanne Summers, Robert Vaughn, directed by Peter Yates.
Judgment at Nuremberg.
Actors Judy Garland, William Shatner, Marlene Dietrich, Spencer Tracy, Burt Lancaster, directed by Stanley Kramer.
Once Upon a Time in the West.
Actors Henry Fonda, Claudia Cardinale, Charles Bronson, Jason Robards Jr. Keenan, when directed by Sergio Leone. Moore. Once Upon a Time in the West, 214 of 277. The top tearjerker movies that make men cry. 145 of 152 movies that should never be remade.
The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance.
Actors John Wayne, James Stewart, Lee Marvin, Lee Van Cleef,
The Jungle Book.
actors Clint Howard, George Sanders, Louis Prima, Sterling Holloway, J. Pat O'Malley, directed by Wolfgang Reitherman.
The Longest Day.
Actors Sean Connery, John Wayne, Richard Burton, Henry Fonda, Robert Mitchum, directed by Darrell F. Zanuck, Ken Anakin, Bernhard Wicke, Andrew Martin, Jared Oswald Moore. The Longest Day, 2 of 374, the 50-plus best war movies ever made. Ranked 140 of 553, the greatest epic movies ever made.
Guess Who's Coming to Dinner?
Actors Katharine Hepburn, Sidney Poitier, Spencer Tracy, Isabel Sanford, Lee Richards, directed by Stanley Kramer.
The Hustler.
Actors Paul Newman, Jackie Gleason, George C. Scott, Piper Laurie, Murray Hamilton, directed by Robert Rawson Moore. The Hustler, 71 of 172, the best sports movies ever made. 39 of 224, the best black and white movies ever made.
Rosemary's Baby.
Actors Maya Farrow, Tony Curtis, John Cassavetes, Charles Grodin, Ruth Gordon, directed by Roman Polanski. Or Rosemary's Baby, all the spooky evidence that Rosemary's Baby is, in fact, a cursed movie. 723 of 1189, every Oscar-winning film ever.
Cape Fear.
Actors Gregory Peck, Robert Mitchum, Telly Savalas, Martin Balsam, Polly Bergen, directed by J. Lee Thompson Moore. Cape Fear, 76 of 242, the best psychological thrillers of all time. 102 of 369, the best movies based on books. 334 of 720, the best horror movies of all time.
Easy Rider.
Actors Peter Fonda, Dennis Hopper, Jack Nicholson, directed by Dennis Hopper Moore. 327 of 480, the greatest movies for guys. 51 of 204, the best drug movies of all time.
A Hard Day's Night.
Actors Paul McCartney, John Lennon, George Harrison, Phil Collins, Ringo Starr, directed by Richard Lester Moore. A Hard Day's Night, 73 of 3,110, the greatest albums of all time. 112 of 206, musical movies with the best songs. 322 of 3,866, the best songs of all time, ranked.
True Grit.
Actors John Wayne, Robert Duvall, Dennis Hopper, Wilford Brimley, Brother Martin, directed by Henry Hathaway.
Midnight Cowboy.
Actors Dustin Hoffman, Jon Voight, Bob Balaban, Emmett Walsh, Brenda Vaccaro, directed by John Schlesinger Moore. Midnight Cowboy, 6 of 20, famous movie lines that were unscripted. 211 of 557, the greatest film scores of all time.
It's a mad, 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 mad world.
Actors Mickey Rooney, Spencer Tracy, Buster Keaton, Milton Berle, Don Knotts, directed by Stanley Kramer.
No.
Actors Sean Connery, Ursula Andress, Jack Lord, Martine Bissek, Lois Maxwell, directed by Terrence Young.
The Manchurian Candidate.
Actors Frank Sinatra, Angela Lansbury, Janet Leigh, Lawrence Harvey, Henry Silva, directed by John Frankenheimer.
The Odd Couple.
Actors Jack Lemmon, Walter Matthau, Herb Edelman, John Fiedler, Iris Adrian, directed by Gene Saks Moore. The Odd Couple 525, 836, the greatest chick flicks ever made. 119 of 1137, the absolute funniest movies of all time.
For a few dollars more.
Actors Clint Eastwood, Lee Van Cleef, Sergio Leone, Klaus Kinski, Gian Maria Volante, directed by Sergio Leone.
Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb.
Actors James Earl Jones, Peter Sellers, George C. Scott, Keenan Wynn, Slim Pickens, directed by Stanley Kubrick.
Goldfinger.
Actors Sean Connery, Honor Blackman, Gary Marshall, Shirley Eaton, Lois Maxwell, directed by Guy Hamilton.
A Fistful of Dollars.
Actors Clint Eastwood, Gian Maria Volante, Aldo Sandor, Mario Brega, Benito Stefanelli, directed by Sergio Leone.
In the Heat of the Night.
Actors Sidney Poitier, Rod Steiger, Lee Grant, Warren Oates, William Shalhoub, directed by Norman Jewison Moore. In the Heat of the Night 164 of 629, the best black movies ever made. Ranked 188 of 553, the greatest epic movies ever made.
My Fair Lady.
Actors Audrey Hepburn, Rex Harrison, Jeremy Brett, Wilfrid Hyde-White, Theodore Bickle, directed by George Cukor Moore. My Fair Lady. Every song in My Fair Lady. Ranked by singability 12 of 46 movies that won Best Picture at the Oscars and Golden Globes. 11 of 84, the best movies based on plays.
The Magnificent Seven.
Actors Steve McQueen, Charles Bronson, James Coburn, Illy Wallach, Yul Brynner, directed by John Sturges Moore. The Magnificent Seven, 337 of 1540, the most rewatchable movies. 8 of 399, the best Western movies ever made. 280 of 456, the most quotable movies of all time.
The Dirty Dozen.
Actors Jim Brown, Donald Sutherland, Charles Bronson, Ernest Borgnine, Lee Marvin, directed by Robert Aldrich.
Mary Poppins.
Actors Julie Andrews, Dick Van Dyke, Elsa Lanchester, Paul Frees, Edwin, directed by Robert Stevenson Moore. Mary Poppins. Behind the scenes, the making of Mary Poppins was not as magical as you'd think. Every song in Mary Poppins. Ranked by singability 86 of 355, the best rainy day movies.
The Great Escape.
Actors Steve McQueen, Richard Attenborough, James Garner, Charles Bronson, James Coburn, directed by John Sturges Moore. The Great Escape. 15 of 275, the best movies based on true stories. 6 of 374, the 50-plus best war movies ever made. Ranked.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Actors Paul Newman, Robert Redford, Cloris Leachman, Sam Elliott, Catherine Ross, directed by George Roy Hill.
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Actors Clint Eastwood, Lee Van Cleef, Charlie Condu, Gemma Jones, Jodie Whittaker, directed by Sergio Leone. Vicente Amorim Moore. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. 8 of 28 Civil War movies. List 51 of 103 the very best movie franchises.
Psycho.
Actors Alfred Hitchcock, Janet Leigh, Anthony Perkins, Vera Miles, Martin Balsam, directed by Alfred Hitchcock.
Hey guys, thank you so much for the support and likes and comments down below, and also thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Then take care, bye.